Welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Teresa, but you can call me Cat. I'm doing the card of the day reading a little bit late in my time zone, but I was thinking maybe I just wouldn't do it today, and then I felt really compelled. There's a lot of anger and unrest, and I feel like I want to see what's happening in the collective energy here. I think I already said I'm using the Wild Unknown Tarot because I think that's appropriate. So let's go ahead and get a card. For some reason, well, I'm not going to say that out loud. I'm just going to get a card. I might end up getting 4 cards based on what's trying to dance around in the back of my brain. If I can get a card to come out to begin with. A card! What's going on with the energy that needs addressing today? Okay, I got a pair here. Four of Wands with the Two of Swords inverted. I see a portal here and I see a portal here. And it actually, this card looks like the top half of this card. So I think we have some kind of mirror world issue going on here. So see 2 and 4, so that's like a doubling, like a leveling up, and it makes sense that this literally looks like half of this card. Okay, so 4 of Wands, Venus in Aries. And I expected to see Martian energy coming out because there's a lot of conflict going on, especially in the United States right now. Venus rules Taurus and Libra. And is also attached to the Empress card. So there's this idea of grounding. There's this idea of grounding and balancing, right? Because normally 4 of Wands, especially in this upright position, has to do with a solid foundation. 2 of Swords. Okay? The Moon in Libra. Now, the Moon rules the High Priestess, and the 2 of Swords is like a low vibrational High Priestess, and the 4 of Wands is like a low vibrational Emperor. But we also have it backed by that potential Empress energy. And Venus isn't currently in retrograde, which might be why the specifically feminine card of the 2 of Swords is inverted. It's like we're cutting, it's like surgery. I see it as surgery. We're removing a tumor from within the foundation. Okay? Now, the High Priestess in full resonance has to do with like psychic intuition, perception, perspective, right? Your malignant perspective is going to be excised. I have 6 here, which is, if I had 6 wands, that would be Jupiter in Leo. Now, Jupiter rules Sagittarius, so we'd have a lot of fire. Now, normally, 6 of Wands would be like victory and public recognition. But notice here that because a third of that 6 is inverted, that it's something that's not happening, but the heat is on. If it were 6 swords, that would be my sailing away from the bullshit card, which is Mercury in Aquarius, coming up with new ways of communicating. Again, it's only starting to get there. It's the idea of not fully being able to move away from stuff that isn't helping anyone anymore. You know, it's like being 60% out of toxicity. I want to see what's on the bottom of the deck. Okay. The Nine of Pentacles inverted. Notice how this looks exactly like the other card, more or less. Okay. It has feathers on it, which suggests some kind of angelic intervention, or air, as in thoughts, perspectives, and communication. Now, in an inverted position, this card goes from a dream to a nightmare, which, especially with the feathers on it, suggests the Nine of Swords. Now, why it's in Pentacles instead of Swords is because the nightmare is something that's physical. And again, 9 is a number that's related to the Empress. 3 squared. And 9 and 6 is 15. That's devil energy. It's something that's binding you, that's preventing you from moving forward, and is related to something physical. Usually it means materialism. And I really have to say that these cards, to me, represent what's going on with essentially what's turning into race riots in America, right? The foundation of people existing, it's like an eye with a spot in it, right? There's a tumor in your vision, in the way that you communicate, the way that you speak to and think about other people. And it needs to come out. It is a tumor on society. And the reason that there's a nightmare in the physical world, the root problem is that people see a certain thing in the material world and they're attacking it. Okay? Abuse, persecution. And many people who are racist, just their thinking is, this person is my enemy, this person is beneath me, this person isn't human. And that is what this surgery is all about. But the way that it's manifesting is in the physical world. It's not a theoretical discussion. This is something that's real and is being addressed in a very visceral way. And like I said, there's a problem in the foundation. Something needs to be removed. There's a darkness that's being removed. This is blue in the center of this card. There's a root issue that has to do with the throat chakra, communication, speaking. What do you say to other people? How do you treat other people? Okay. This is the fourth horseman of the apocalypse. This is the magician. Look what happens when you get rid of that blemish in the middle of that portal, that throat chakra problem, that air energy problem. We get reduced to a number 1. This is the masculine energies version of the High Priestess. Manifester. Everything shifts. Everything breaks down to a singularity. Right? 4 is something that can be divided. And we're getting rid of that division until we reduce everything to a 1. Right? Everyone is number 1. Everyone is important. All of these elements work together to create a certain kind of magic in the world. Right? I mean, if you wanted to put it that way, you could say each of these things, wands, swords, pentacles, and cups, you could say, oh, those are the races of people. Or this is like Captain Planet here, right? The magician, and these are all the kids with the rings there. But the issue is that there is no balance in the kingdoms for energy to radiate when people aren't interacting with each other in a grounded and balanced way. Now, like I said, there was Venus. This is Venus in Aries. And the very point of that could be to say, bring emotional content, bring empathy, bring nurturing to conflict, to war, to, killing and murdering and plundering and conquering and all of those things. And the thing that people don't understand that I've been saying for the last week in my readings is that Aries energy, Martian energy, is not just about killing and taking and hoarding and abusing. In a non-distorted mode, which is what this transformation out of nightmare, what this surgery, this you don't lobotomy me, I don't lobotomy you, lobotomy surgery. Inserting a portal into your brain to get you these mouth-breathing fucking troglodytes out of their own asshole. The point of all that shift from distorted Martian energy into balanced, grounded Martian energy is negotiations, it's psychology, it's understanding other people, what they do, how they do it, when they're going to do it. It's like understanding the enemy. But if you understand somebody, then you're less likely to just blatantly attack them, right? So, and it's not just saying, oh, I'm only understanding you so I can find your weaknesses. It's saying, I'm going to learn from you so that our interactions are creating like power. And it's to say like one is stronger than the other and somebody has to win. It's if you negotiate with somebody because you understand them and you're not just going in and taking what they have until they're completely destitute and broken, you create more for everybody in the future. If you just go in and destroy, you only get so much. But if you go in and you negotiate and you're working together, you're able to create something that is greater than the sum of the parts. And that's what people don't understand. They think, oh, I'm feeling this certain kind of energy, but I only ever feel energy in a distorted way. So I'm going to go out and kill and attack and fuel my ego and make sure that I stay in this nightmare energy and fuel my ego with fear. These are all my little fear eggs, and that's what I'm going to eat for the rest of my life. I'm going to kill and attack and harass and abuse anyone that I can because it makes me feel like I'm a better person. That's what this energy is, and it needs to stop. Get at me if you want to hear more readings. I'm out.